All right. Good evening. This is Attorney Vincent Davis, and this is The Secret: how to beat CPS and win. And I'm doing questions and answer sessions today. And we have Faye from Kentucky. Faye, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Doing real good. Go ahead and ask your first question.
Okay, my first question would be, can a licensed clinical social worker diagnose you with a mental disorder like postpartum depression and take your kids and threaten that if you don't sign the plan, that she will make it hard for you to ever get your kids back?
Well, I mean, that's kind of a double question you have there. First of all, um, no one can ever threaten you that unless you sign, you'll never get your kids back. So that's number one. That's would be illegal. There are several administrative and legal remedies you could take against someone who does that to you. But the main part of your question is, can a clinical therapist, or you say clinical therapist, social worker?
Social worker.
Yeah. Can they make a mental diagnosis? And the answer is, it depends on the state you're in. In California, where I am, a clinical social worker cannot make a medical diagnosis. I would suspect that it's the same in your county or in your state of Kentucky, but you'd have to check with a lawyer there. Okay, but if you
Okay.
were in California, the clinical social worker cannot make a medical diagnosis. They're not qualified to do that under the law. They may think that they're qualified to do it, but they're really not.
Okay.
Okay, what's your next question? Okay.
Thank you. The next question is the court supposed to make a way for you to attend the 72-hour removal hearing if you are incarcerated or in the hospital?
Generally speaking, in California, yes, absolutely. Nowadays, with things like Zoom and telephone appearances, yes, it's your 14th Amendment right for you to be present at these hearings in any way possible. For you to be present should be utilized. Now, having said that, I have seen and I have heard of courts having hearings at their convenience because even though the parent wasn't properly notified. And that's an issue of the 14th Amendment and notice, substantive and procedural due process that you should definitely take up with your attorney.
Okay.
All right. What's your
All
next
right. Thank
question?
you. My next question is it legal for the judge to have you sit in the lobby outside the courtroom while he has your TPR hearing without you being able to see or hear it?
Well, generally, I would say in California, no, and probably in most states, that would be a due process violation again. But there are some exceptions. For example, if you were in the courtroom and got banned from the courtroom, or if you were previously banned from the judge's courtroom for good cause, I would probably say the judge could do it, although there is still some procedural due process and substantive due process issues that you have to address. Were you previously banned from the courtroom?
No.
Okay, then they shouldn't be having hearings without you if you want to be present. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes some weird stuff like that happens, and your attorney may have told the judge, "Oh, we can do the hearing without my client."
Hmm.
Okay. Now, I don't know if that has happened, but if that happened to you, I'd file an appeal and I get a copy of the transcript. And if that happened to you, first thing I would do is get an attorney and make a motion to set aside anything that happened at that hearing for lack of due process. It sounds like you did not give your attorney I guess, the right to make that statement to the judge.
No.
Okay, so definitely that happened to you. Now, here's something interesting, Faye. You're asking me about what happened at the 2-6 hearing, but you're also asking me what happened at the detention hearing. And
Mm-hmm.
those two hearings happened months apart, and much has
Right.
happened in your case. So, by the way, you can't do anything short of a civil rights lawsuit to attack what happened at the detention hearing. It's over, it's done with. And if you didn't
Mm-hmm.
appeal it, and when you appeal, you probably have waited too late to do anything. But it doesn't sound like it's too late for you to do anything on your termination case or termination hearing. And I would definitely do something because it sounds like you lost your parental rights and you're gonna have to appeal that or
Well,
make a motion and
well,
try to reverse that.
what happened was is they returned one child to me, but made me sign over the other child to get one of them.
Now, I hear that many times, and it's the strangest thing to me because if they give you back one child, in my mind, you should automatically getting back both.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's not one of those things. Either you're a danger or a risk to children, or you're not. And if they're giving you one child, how can you be a risk to the other child?
They
Sounds
actually put,
sounds like something funny. You
they
might want to
actually, I'm
go ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. They actually placed me on a child abuse registry. Yeah.
Okay, but that doesn't have anything to do with you getting the children back. And obviously, you
Well,
said you got one of them back.
yeah. Well, the registry states that I'm not allowed to be around any children under the age of 18, even though there was no physical abuse or sexual abuse involved. It was mainly just missed doctor's appointments.
Usually, the registry has to do with other children, not your own. So, for
I'm on
example,
it.
right, but I'm not surprised you're on it. But in California, being on the registry doesn't mean you can't have your own children.
Mm,
You just can't be around other people's children.
okay.
But in the position of a nursery school teacher, in the position of a elementary school teacher, in the position of a nurse that deals with children, or a
Right.
doctor that deals with those types of things. So,
Right.
as far as your questioning today, the fact that you're in the child abuse registry is a red herring. All right. The bottom line is, if they gave you one child, that's proof that you should get all your children. Okay.
Yeah, you would
And,
think so.
and what I would advise you to do is speak to a lawyer in Kentucky and try to hire him or her and try to take some steps immediately because your time is running out. In every state, your time to make a motion to correct something that has happened in your court or the time to file an appeal, all has time limits. I don't know what it is in your state, but I know there is a limit and you need to do something quickly.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Hey, Faye, I still have a little bit more time. Do you have another question that you want to ask me?
Um. Well, there was one that uh, Danielle and Bob wanted me to ask, and let me get to that. Just 1 second. Uh, it was there was a lady that had came on the show, and she said that in order for a CPS case to be valid, it had to be registered with the state before it could be valid.
Okay, what had to be registered? When you say it,
The
it is a
the
pronoun. I don't know what you're
the
referring to.
the CPS case had to be registered with the state. I honestly don't know what she meant by that, but they wanted me to ask, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what if a CPS case is filed with the state court. In a sense, that's automatic registration
Hmm.
is within the state judicial system. So I don't know
Hmm.
what the question means, but that's what I would say. Hey, there's one
Okay.
thing that I wanted to mention to you and to everyone that watches my channel. I'm getting a lot of information or a lot of complaints from parents telling me that certain attorneys, in order to convince them to hire the attorney, verbally guarantee that they will get your kids back. In California and in every state, that is illegal. No
Mm,
lawyer, no lawyer can ever guarantee you a result. It's illegal.
okay.
Um, and I think it's a crime, and I know that attorney, if they make a guarantee to you, could lose his or her right to practice law. Okay, so I just want to warn people. And one of the people that made that or told me of that happening told me that when he asked for the lawyer to put it in writing or in a text, the lawyer refused. And I said, well, yeah,
Okay.
the lawyer refused because it's illegal. All right.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Faye. Hey, I want to thank you for calling in on my office hours today, all the way
You're
from
welcome.
Kentucky. And I
You're
want to tell
welcome.
everyone else I'm going to be doing office hours every day. So if you want your questions answered, go ahead and email my producer, Grace, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com, and she'll set you up. Alrighty, Faye?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
And thank you again, Grace. Bye bye.